Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I guess I'm matching the fall colors in one of my favorite coats, by the way, if you're wondering. It was really not expensive and I purchased it many years ago before I left the United States. But this is not a fashion channel, but who knows, maybe one day. Today I would like to explain what's going on in Poland, because I think it's an important thing for all of us to look into the timing of events, and it's all connected as always. And this is in regards to the elections that took place, as you remember, on October 15th in Poland. Who won, who lost? It's another story here, very questionable, the outcome of it. But I found a very informative and important article on portal prawo.pl. Baby is aggravated with something, which is understandable. So guys, okay, let me read you this. Why I want to read you is because a lot is going to change, and the timing of the next steps that will be taking place in regards to forming new Polish government, I think are very important, not just for Poland as the country, but for other countries as well, as we all know. So let's go through this. Let's see, I have some pages here. I will read you first part and then we go into steps, time frames and the outcome of how this government will be created. The link, as always, you find down below this video in the description box. And it says the new government, Polish government, will take a long time to emerge. The official results showed that Law and Justice, despite winning the elections, will not be able to obtain a vote of confidence in its government in the Sejm, which is Polish parliament. The so-called had a chance to receive support for the government already in the first step provided for in the Constitution democratic opposition. This is civic coalition, that the leader is Donald Tusk, Third Way and the Left. So this is the coalition, right, against the Law and Justice, the opposition. However, the president entrusted the mission of forming the government to a Law and Justice politician, Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. If this fails, the Sejm, which is Polish parliament, will choose the Prime Minister in the next step. Now I have some explanation here of the process, how this is going to take place. And I think we will all benefit from this knowledge, because as I said before, this gives you an idea about the time frame for whatever actions will come afterwards. Whatever engagement it will be, whatever conflict, this gives you an idea, in my opinion. And it starts with this: establishing a government, step one. This is where parliamentary and electoral arithmetics comes in. The president appoints the prime minister from the winning party. Okay, so this already happened. Morawiecki is appointed again. Law and Justice won. At the same time, however, Law and Justice won't be able to govern independently. It will have too few seats in the Sejm needed to gain a vote of confidence in its government, which means, like I said before in another video, there will be much more opposition to whatever idea Law and Justice come up with, because, like it says, they don't have enough seats in Polish parliament. The absolute majority, when all MPs are presented, is 231. At least that many MPs, when 460 MPs are present, must support a motion for a vote of confidence in the government. So it looks like at least 231, right, has to, if I understand this correctly, has to support the notion. And just sidetrack for a second here, well, kind of not really sidetrack, my comment here, because Morawiecki, they are talking about that Morawiecki will be faced with opposition and vote of a non-confidence. So they will try to vote him out as a prime minister before he will be able to create a new government. That's what I heard. I don't know how legit is this information, but I'm just sharing with you, because you cannot clearly hear all the talks that are taking place in Poland, right? I can't either myself. Meanwhile, Law and Justice won 194 of them. So 231 is required with any idea to be voted in, and Law and Justice at this moment has 194. So they have less than they had, clearly. They cannot force their ideas anymore. The chances resulting from arithmetics to create a government that would obtain a vote of confidence in the first step had the so-called democratic opposition, so the civic coalition third road and the left, that won a total of 248 seats. So you already have this domination, right? You have higher number of seats from this coalition. But again, they have to agree, right, among each other, which that's another question. According to official data, the Confederation, which is one of those parties, won 18 seats. Even a possible agreement between Law and Justice and this party does not give the government to a chance to obtain a vote of confidence. Despite these calculations, the president's announcement that he was designating Mateusz Morawiecki as a prime minister. So in spite of all of this, Duda announced Morawiecki as the next prime minister. It's a very challenging situation for Morawiecki, guys. I mean, you understand this. I'm not even an expert, but just looking at those numbers and the way how this is all looking right now, this is very, very challenging for Morawiecki. I don't think he really cares. I mean, whatever mentions he purchased all over the place, yes, including Israel, I've heard, and probably several there, I don't think he gives a bleep. But on the surface, it might look like as he does, because he's financially stable and he has connections, and he's the graduate, isn't he, of WEF? So what to worry about, right? Anyway, you know me and me in between the articles commenting, but you already know me. The first step in forming a government provided for in the Constitution. Now, I have 2 more pages here, so bear with me, because this is very informative. Appointment of the government, step 2. So, the step 2, when this government is appointed, the prime minister is elected by the Sejm. So, now we have Duda announcing Morawiecki is the named prime minister. It's not over, like I said. Now Polish parliament has to has to announce who is the next prime minister. Today is a very important day, because on the 13th, Monday, Morawiecki will be resigning from his current position as a prime minister, and then he will be appointed again. If the Council of Ministers is not appointed, or the government, in this case Morawiecki, does not receive a vote of confidence, the Sejm will choose the prime minister and the ministers proposed by him. So here is the key moment, crucial part. So Morawiecki is resigning today. If he does not receive a vote of confidence, which I don't think he will, then Sejm will choose the next prime minister. So Duda chose. If Morawiecki is not receiving vote of confidence from Sejm, then Sejm parliament will choose the next prime minister. I'm telling you today, Muppet Show at its finest. This requires, just as in the case of the prime minister designated by the president, an absolute majority of votes. We see. This is the majority of the democratic opposition. So this new coalition of those parties that won in the election will have to say, Morawiecki, you're cool. You go, bro. Again, I don't think it's gonna happen, but we see. If there is money involved, everything is possible to some people. I will say, I shouldn't maybe say it, but in this case I will say not in my case. The constitution assumes that the president appoints the council of ministers elected in this way and receives the oath from its members. In this scenario, a new government might be formed even around Christmas. So this is where I'm going with this. Depending on how this will unfold today, we may wait until Christmas for the final results, and this is all connected with international affairs again. Establishing a government, the third step, this is the last stage of this process. If the government fails to be formed, in this step, the president will again have the sphere of action. So, if again they will be fighting among one another, total Muppet show, lights, bulbs and feathers, Las Vegas, and they cannot decide because this one didn't get enough money, another didn't get enough money, whatever position, then Duda again will have to announce another prime minister. I'm telling you. In accordance with the constitution, within 14 days, he appoints the prime minister, so Duda has again 2 more weeks, and appoints the prime minister, and at his request, the remaining members of the Council of Ministers, and takes their oath. The same within 14 days from the date of appointment of the government by the president, grants it a vote of confidence. So we repeat the same circus again. Now this is constitution, right? But it will be a circus. But it will be a circus because people will be fighting, opposing. In this third step, a majority of vote is needed in the presence of at least half, last few words, half of the statutory, if I say it correctly, member of deputies. It is easier to obtain support because it is enough for there to be more votes than against. Okay. So now you have, and I hope you do, I hope you understood me today, guys, I really hope. Now you have the idea of how the process of creating new government in Poland will look like. And today it's a very important day. I'm trying to go away from the leaf blower thing, because today, like I said, Polish Parliament will be voting if Morawiecki is cool or he's not cool to pursue forward and to create a new government. So if all of this today will be voted no, that means we have to wait again for another prime minister to be announced by Polish Sejm, by Parliament. Will they agree who is next? If they agree that Tusk is next, then Tusk will be next one. But then they have again some time, because Tusk will be faced with vote of confidence. And again we repeat the same scenario. If he doesn't get enough, then we have Duda again. And Duda will announce a new one, and then 2 weeks again, and on and on. So today it's a quite important day. I hope I didn't confuse you. I'm actually understanding what I'm saying. I might not look like I am, but I am. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, for liking, sharing, subscribing, all the support on my channel, all the links to find me or to support my work, and the article as I read this one to you, you will find down below this video in the description box. Guys, dogs are barking, I love dogs, so let me go. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye everyone.